matchup, Anaheim versus San Jose. Here's the opening faceoff.
What's up, Undertoads? This is Derek from Classic Game Room. And look, I'm just going to come right out and say it. I'm still a little bit sick. Voice still sounds a little bit funny, and you guys are going to have to deal with that. Look, I'm sorry, but I'm not going to apologize. I'm not sorry. This is just the time of the year for people to get sick, and it's not my fault. It's Mother Nature's fault. We should annihilate her. It's also one of the best times of the year to be a sports fan, too. I mean, baseball's playoffs are underway. The other thing better than baseball is playoff baseball. Hockey season's about to start. And hockey has always been my second favorite sport. So when those two sports overlap, it's pretty much impossible for me to focus on anything else, like reviews or life or playing defense. I don't play defense. So I figure, let's use my lack of focus to our advantage. It's Wayne Gretzky's 3D hockey for the Nintendo 64. I never play defense. Tell you what I do play, though, Ninja Turtles LCD handhelds. Ninja Turtles anything, pretty much. The point is, this game was sent to us by our pal Brian from Yorktown, Virginia. But he sent it with this, the TMNT3 LCD that I reviewed back in August. And since I basically black out when people send me Turtle stuff, I didn't even realize he'd sent this, too. This was in the package as well, totally overlooked it. So when I found it, it was like this nice little surprise from the hockey gods. Perhaps I was intended to only find it now, at the dawn of a new hockey season. Perhaps I need to pay closer attention to my surroundings. Perhaps I need to play defense. See, look, but that's the thing. We could be here all day asking hypotheticals. Point is, this game is actually pretty awesome. And for a bargain bin N64 sports game that most people would just overlook, it actually has a bit of a legacy, too.
Here's the draw. A hit count.
So this game was released in November of 1996, which is less than 2 months after the launch of the Nintendo 64. That makes this the system's very first sports game, which I was surprised to find out. I didn't know that. That alone makes it kind of a noteworthy release, not to mention the fact that it's still really fun to play. This is a fast-paced, arcade-style hockey game. Kind of like NBA Jam on Ice, which sounds like the best skating show ever. How is that not a thing? But not only that, it was also, apparently, the first game on the system to use all 4 controller ports for 4-player multiplayer. And that's awesome. Because, I mean, I don't know about you guys, but for me, more than anything else, I remember the Nintendo 64 for those legendary 4-player multiplayer games. And this was the first one. This is where it started. It was the dawn of a new era of destroying friendships. Thanks a lot, Odd Job. Now, of course, as surprising as its legacy is, its gameplay is significantly less so. It's pretty much just Arcade Sports 101. But that also means it's freaking awesome. It's 3-on-3, so you pick a team, you pick a line, and you pick which player you want to control. The answer is always Mario. Wayne, with all due respect, the answer is always Mario. And then you score lots and lots and lots of goals. In fact, that if there's a drawback here, it might be that. The goalies are just, they're really bad. And one-timers are pretty much automatic in this game. As long as you set up a teammate with a quick pass and a nice one-timer, you'll score like 7 times out of 10 at least. It's ridiculous. And that's before you set the net on fire. So, if you're looking for serious hockey, this probably isn't the game for you. I mean, when hockey fans say that a goalie is like a wall, that's not what we mean. Do you know the great thing about a game like this is that even though the presentation is aged and it doesn't look as impressive as it once did, the gameplay's still awesome. I mean, even now, I had a blast with this game. In fact, it kind of reminds me of an old NES game called Ice Hockey, because the technical elements are outdated, but the gameplay is as fun as ever, and with 4 players, man, you can play this for hours. And the nice thing is that it's got plenty of options, too. You could do single games, you could do an entire season, a short season, a playoff run. You can even play with a sim setting, and that makes things at least a little less ridiculous. Not sure why you'd want to, though. The absurdity is the whole point. I mean, you could even do finishing moves when you get into fights. So, again, it's like hockey meets NBA Jam meets WWE. And that's literally the greatest thing I've ever heard.
Here's the draw. Boom! A goal!
Look, you guys know this as well as I do. You go to a used video game store, there's always that big box of sports games from the N64 and the original PlayStation. Those games from that era that are like, they're like $1 a piece now. Because sports games from that era haven't really aged that well. In some ways, this one hasn't either. But in the ways that matter, this is still an awesome hockey game that's very much worth digging out of that bin. Trust me, next time you have one of those N64 multiplayer parties, which, as you N64 owners know, are still things that happen to this day, take a break from GoldenEye for a minute, pop in Wayne Gretzky's 3D Hockey, because this game is awesome. Thanks for sending it to the show, Brian. Oh, and congratulations, too. Once again, I didn't notice that Brian sent a letter with this game, and in the letter, he says he's getting married this month. So from all of us at CGR Undertow, have a lovely wedding, and congratulations, Brian. Although you're getting married, we got Wayne Gretzky's 3D Hockey. I think we all know who won in this scenario.
The sensational